Hello everyone and welcome to another game of World of Warships. Today we are watching EsaTuunanen in his Gremyashchy, and I'm terribly sorry I don't know how to exactly pronounce the ship name. He is on the map fault line in a 3-point domination game mode. Now it's a tier 7 battle, but the Gremyashchy is a very powerful ship, probably a bit too powerful for tier 5, so it's not really that much of a problem. There are carriers around. Carriers can always be a bit of a pain in the ass if you're in a destroyer, if they are actually spotting you with planes, and the Gremmy doesn't have very good anti-air. And I guess there isn't really a destroyer who can defend himself against an airstrike adequately. So there are a lot of enemy destroyers around, and in this replay you will see him engage quite a few of those. So don't worry, this is not a replay about a destroyer just shooting torpedoes and staying in stealth all game long. Now Esa has made his way here towards the point C, and he is starting to capture it. He's aiming his torpedoes towards the enemy. Now you can launch torpedoes here blindly because it's likely that somebody comes through this channel, and that is the reason why you probably shouldn't take a battleship in here. If you're a destroyer, you are here in a perfect position. You can ambush people who come around this corner with torpedoes. You are small and fast enough to avoid enemy torpedoes, and you can always just pop smoke and disappear. So his patience has paid off, I guess. He can now launch torpedoes at this Kirov. He's also switching to armor piercing, because he can citadel an enemy cruiser. Gremyashchy has 130mm guns, I think, and is quite capable of citadeling a cruiser. The downside of the guns is mostly the very slow turret traverse. Now Esa is using smoke here to make sure he is not spotted and just keeps shelling away at that Kirov. Those torpedoes look decent, but the Kirov managed to avoid them. There is one friendly cruiser here in the back who is also providing assistance. And note that Esa switched to high explosive for a brief time when he didn't have a decent angle. And he is now spotted by, I think, a hydroacoustic surge. You can see the Kirov is turning his guns, but he is too slow. So, good start. One enemy down, point successfully captured. Now there is a battle here going on for point B. There is a friendly destroyer who is trying to take it, but it's stopped by an enemy destroyer. There seems to be a lot of the team who, I don't know what exactly they're doing. Some people try to capture A, but they got pushed back. There are some reinforcements coming for A, and there are some people who are going for B. So let's see how this turns out. Let's hope those two cruisers here will support Esa, who is now probably pushing towards B as well and supporting the team over there. But it's looking pretty good. I think they will get the point soon. Okay, somebody's getting resetted, so might take them a while longer. Now, as always, I have got this replay from warreplays.com. I will put the link in the video description. And look at that, there is a destroyer coming here around the corner in close range. So there will be a torpedo shootout. It looks like a nice torpedo dodge by Esa here, and the enemy, well, he's just speeding up. There wasn't much way to give those torpedoes lead because the island was in the way. All the enemy just had to do was like press the W key to avoid them. And now we are in a gunfight. As I said, there are some more torpedoes incoming. That's not looking good, but he can dodge them nicely. Very well done. Now, well, the main downside, as I said, is the turrets turn very slowly. So if you have to wiggle your ship around to avoid enemy shells, it can be a bit problematic to keep them pointed at the enemy. But this Mutsuki, he isn't even firing back. All he is doing is trying to dodge shells and probably launch more torpedoes. I mean, when you are in a fight with an enemy destroyer, as a destroyer, you have to use your guns. Yeah, if you have to run away because you are outgunned, that's all fine, but there is really no reason not to fire back. Now the enemy is hidden in smoke. Esa did a pretty good job at damaging this destroyer, but he wasn't quite able to finish the deal. He put some distance between him and the enemy, give him more time to avoid torpedoes, I guess, and not to get in firing range of more enemy ships. Now the friendly team has taken B by now. The friendly cruiser right here is probably hunting for a carrier, but the carrier is spotted over here, so this could probably turn left. And there is a low health enemy destroyer who is now dead. Very nice. Now we see a lot of dead ships here at A. It seems the friendly assault has failed. I'm not sure if those ships that are still pushing towards A can make a difference, but it doesn't really matter. They hold the majority of the capture points. They are even in the lead with one ship, but it looks like somebody snuck by and is now capturing C. There is a cruiser in a position to defend that. It turns around. And Esa is just engaging another destroyer. Seems to be quite a few enemies who are potentially pushing for B, so Esa is joining the defense with other friendly ships here. The torpedoes on this ship are 8 kilometers, so decent chance of getting a few hits on this New Mexico if he just keeps driving straight forward. On the other hand, maybe the New Mexico dies before the torpedoes reach him. He's already on somewhat low health, and there are friendly torpedoes incoming. There goes the New Mexico. This should be quite a difference in defending this point, because the destroyers so far don't seem that interested in pushing straight in here. I mean, the one destroyer is trying, the other is still far behind, and this cruiser is... I don't know where he is going.
The ship is on fire.
All the turrets are finally pointing at the destroyer. And not sure this destroyer isn't... I think he is not certain who to shoot, because there is another destroyer here. Fortunately, the friendly Minekase run himself into ground, but together they managed to deal with this enemy quite nicely. And it looks like all the squad from the enemy team decided to retreat. So this is looking pretty decent. Although they have lost point C. I'm not sure. They had this cruiser here in a position to defend this point, but he just decided to sail away. I guess those two cruisers are still carrier hunting. And by now everybody from the friendly team who has tried to push towards A has gone down. But if they can just like take C back, it shouldn't be a problem. Now Esa has a chance to go straight here towards C, but I guess he's expecting an enemy destroyer who is probably hunting the carrier, so he wants to intercept that destroyer and protect his own carrier. So far, he is using smoke. He is not fighting back, and he is just I don't know, tunnel visioning on the carrier. I mean, smoke doesn't really help you if you are moving forward with like full speed. You are permanently driving out of your smoke, and I don't know. I mean, this guy didn't try anything. But there aren't even torpedoes here. He just popped smoke and kept going without defending him. Well, there's that. The friendly cruisers have finally found the enemy carrier. And there goes down one cruiser. He has just spent this whole match driving all the way over there. Finally meet this target, and then maybe the second cruiser can fare better. Now Esa was going here towards C, but he has realized that somebody is capturing B, so he is going after the probably last destroyer. I mean, we know the battleships down here, we know the cruiser and the carrier up there, so the destroyer has to be in B. And this friendly cruiser is capturing C, so there is no use in helping this cruiser because no enemies over there. So far he has scored 86 hits with his main guns, not a single torpedo hit. Not what you usually expect from destroyers, I guess. So they control C now, they lost B. He is detected, there is the enemy Mutsuki. Let's see if this is a destroyer who is actually interested in defending himself. And again, the enemy has popped smoke, but he is not really firing his guns. I'm assuming there are torpedoes in the water, and yes, they are. Now when you see such a smoke cloud and you know an enemy destroyer is hiding inside, you might as well just launch your torpedoes blindly in it. Sometimes you might get lucky because they just stop and hide in there, but this guy decided to drive away, and once again he doesn't seem very interested in using his gun. I mean, this gun is only... Yes, he is finally firing. He has realized that he is actually quite capable of defending himself. Well, there are more torpedoes incoming. Exactly sure. I have a feeling that Mutsuki could have used his guns more effectively. At least he tried to fire back a little bit. And yes, I'm aware. A lot of destroyers might not want to fire their guns because it increases the range which they're spotted, and if you're just trying to get away, it's easier to hide again if you don't fire your guns, but you know, if a destroyer is hunting you, you probably aren't managing to get away. So, just might as well shoot back. Now, Esa used his torpedoes here. He was expecting the destroyer to sail around this island. But it seems like the enemy decided not to do that. There is a chance that he just... I don't know. Maybe flat, maybe he's going towards C. Maybe he decided he'll just capture another point since B is defended. There are only 2 enemies left, and the enemy battleship is here in the south, probably hunting the carrier, but the carrier is wisely just running away. And oh, it seems like the Mutsuki just turned around and is trying to go for B again, but Esa is still here. Yeah. There goes the enemy. There are some torpedoes incoming. but should be able to dodge those. Now only the Warspite is left. This should be a simple win. They are 4 against 1. The Warspite is already damaged. They control 2 capture zones. This cruiser will soon take the 3rd. So there isn't much way of losing this. Oh, it's only a matter of killing the last remaining ship. There is an torpedo drop incoming towards the Warspite. Don't really see exactly how good they are aimed, but might finish the Warspite off. Or maybe not. Looks like he is at 311 health, and he either repaired his flooding immediately or he didn't get flooded. Probably the Cleveland will now end this game. And there you go. Let's take a look at the results. Esa managed to get 3,180 base experience. That's quite a lot, especially in a tier 5 ship. And yeah, I think he played really well. He started off with capturing C and then defending and capturing points B and C over the battle, mostly engaging enemy destroyers and doing a lot of damage to those. So yeah, very well played by him. He managed to unleash the Kraken, got quite a few hits in with his guns, no torpedo hits though, and he did overall 55,000 damage. That's not a lot, but you know, destroyers just don't have a lot of hit points, and since he was mostly shooting destroyers, he still took a large percentage of their health. And ultimately, I guess that's what matters. So I hope you enjoyed this destroyer replay that didn't even include a single torpedo hit. And I see you guys next time.